For some reason, bro, I was like, I just want to go hear some live shit, and I want to hear it like raw, uncut. I told her straight up, like, if I'm here, I'm going to your dinner, like, regardless of what I had planned. Like, I'm gonna show up for you, because she's always showed up for me. I ain't let nobody touch their wallet. I paid for everything. Jazz, if you allow it to, Jazz will automatically transport you back to your childhood.
I don't. People don't realize how crucial jazz is in general for like any genre, right? Like, especially hip hop. Like jazz and hip hop is like this, bro. Like, do you know? Like, that's the records that these motherfuckers were sampling from the beginning. Jazz has too much gold in it. Like,
he just won a fucking Grammy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, making beats, what I do every night, that I keep y'all up, and I'm in my room doing this shit. Like, he just did that, bro. Kendrick Lamar saved the music industry.
He made a god bleed, right? Because, like I said, Drake was the face, right? Like, Drake was, there was no question who the biggest artist on the planet was. If there's one thing I can tell you, kids, is to not start a rap beef with Kendrick Lamar. There were people going to the Dirk statue at American Airlines Center. These people dropped a casket off. There was people dropping off all sorts of shit because of this. When Luka comes back to Dallas, it's gonna be a rough night.
All right, so yeah, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Step Brothers podcast. You feel me? We we back.
Let me see. I forgot what number.
Yeah, because we're
284.
284. It's your host with the most, Chris Minor, aka Dino Spumoni, extra cheese and pepperoni. You feel me? If you knew me, you know me. You heard, because niggas don't change. Only the weather does. What's good, Dalton?
Hey, you know, just we're recording on a Sunday, which is interesting, but actually good because we actually get to do live, fresh from the Grammys. So we fresh off the Grammys,
fresh from a lot of shit.
Yeah, but fresh from the Grammys, like just now, and then just a wholesome weekend with the kids. You know what I'm saying? It was just a cool little weekend, pretty chill. Yeah, but ready to get back to our normal cadence again. We had a little fun with our special, and then we're gonna start live streaming the recording to Twitch before I edit and move it to YouTube and then do the audio. Yeah, look at this boy, bruh. I'm gonna put it. That's Ryan. A minor.
Clean sweep, man. That's what the industry calls it. Clean sweep
for 5. Yeah.
So let's start this right.
Yeah.
My birthday was on Monday.
Yeah.
And then Diamond's birthday
again.
Thank you. And Diamond's birthday was Saturday, which is why she's not here with us.
Yeah.
Today she's celebrating, so we're gonna give her that grace. This time of the year for me personally is always very hectic because I have a cousin, which I told this story before, but it's the time of the year again, so might as well. I have a cousin who I was too young to remember, whose birthday me and him share the same birthday, and I'm too young to remember because he passed when I was a child.
Okay.
Which, if you are I guess at this point, a lifetime member of the Step Brothers podcast, we had his younger sister on a while ago, long time ago. Dalton was still in the apartments over there off of fucking...
Yeah, you talking about Cookie.
Yes, Cookie came on. She told her story, the infamous story. If you was there, you was there. If not, you can go back.
Mm-hmm.
But birthday and my birthday are the same day, so celebrating him as well as me, and
Man,
you know, his spirit lives on.
absolutely.
Ironically enough, because
Mm.
of God's humor, I guess, Cookie's mother and my father shared the same birthday, which was just this past Friday,
Yeah, a lot of birthdays this week.
31st, which she is no longer with us. The first official tattoo I ever got was of her after she passed.
Right.
So I want to say happy belated birthday to my aunt May, who undoubtedly contributed to the man that I am today. And you feel me? So happy belated to her.
Absolutely, man.
As well, like I said, Damon's birthday being always falling
The same week.
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, our birthday always falls on the same week. Before I even knew who Damon was in high school, y'all, she had beef with me because our birthday fell on the same week. Because you know, you feel me? I had a lot of friends, so when I wanted to have my birthday party that weekend of my birthday, everybody, nah, I won't say everybody. I ain't gonna say like the whole school was here, but I had a party, and that affected her party. So always try to give Grace thoughts, consideration to the fact that our birthdays are the same week
Okay.
and shit happens.
Yeah.
You understand? So again, she's out celebrating her birthday or wherever she's at. We just
Mm-hmm.
gonna wish her a happy birthday. Hopefully she will return. But yeah, that was like the big deal. You feel me? Want to give a special shout out to Dalton as well, and his lovely wife Shelby and Ryan for accompanying me to this jazz bar that Dalton actually put me on to in Dallas by the name of Triumph. I
Yeah.
went back to back Friday and
Yeah.
Saturday night because the vibes were just immaculate for a nigga as such as myself. So Dalton, if you care to
What?
expound on
Yeah,
our
yeah.
night.
So, I mean, when a couple weeks ago, Chris was like talking about what he wanted to do. Well, first off, Chris was expecting to go to Mississippi with his parents.
Pops. It was just me and Pops.
Oh, you and your
Yeah, mom
his
was
pops
gone.
to go see Granny.
He wanted to drop off
Yeah.
the Chevy because he
Yeah.
couldn't find a mechanic here
Right.
to get it. Yeah.
But so he was like, "Hey, I don't know which weekend we're gonna do it, but what I want to do is he's like, I was thinking of like doing some like a jazz lounge or like jazz club or something like that." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Okay." I was like, I know some spots, but just let me know what type of like vibe you want." And then he was like, "Well, I'm gonna ask my confidant and I'll get back to you or whatever." So
Yeah.
we were parlaying back and forth a couple times, and then he really thought he was going out of town, so he was like, "I'll just wait till I get back." But then we kind of the week we got to hit day of his birthday, and we're kind of like, well, we're not going anymore, so we can try to plan something for this weekend, like or Friday or Saturday type of thing. And on his birthday, me and him went to Twin Peaks.
Shout out to Twin Peaks. So I was there for a nigga.
Yeah, we had a couple drinks and just ironically enough watched the Mavs blow somebody out before all the the nonsense happened today. But after that, I was telling him about this jazz. Triumphs is a jazz bar. It's like a jazz coffee and whiskey lounge is really what it is. Like so during the week it's like a normal, like they don't have like late hours really. Like they on the Monday through Thursday they close at 10 p.m. and they sell like espresso and then you can play like board games and shit like that. It's a real low key like super like chill place, but on Wednesday through Saturday they do live jazz for free. Like it doesn't cost anything. They just ask that you buy a drink.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. They don't ask if you pay anything up front.
Yeah.
But if you just don't happen to take a gander at your bill at the end of the night on the weekend at Triumph, they do add a band fee, which was $2. So it wasn't. You feel me?
But that's why they ask you to at least buy a drink. So it's like, But anyway, they every day is like a different person. It's never the same person. And we were going back and forth because like a lot of jazz clubs or like places like that, they make you buy tickets or like they have an entry fee to like help pay for the band as well. A lot of the places in Dallas are very small, or they're not playing. It's like a crapshoot, right? So sometimes you get like the old like doo-wop jazz, or you might get some like real experimental stuff, or maybe just like one guy playing like the piano or something. You never know what you're gonna get. The original plan was to go Saturday, which is why Chris went again, and that guy does neo soul, so he was like, "Oh, bet, sign me up." And then what was good about for me and my wife was that it's like a set time, so they do jazz from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. and they're only open till midnight. And I was like, "Oh, we could just have someone watch my kids sleep while we're gone, because they'll be asleep by then." And when we went on Friday, obviously we went a little later. My oldest son was not trying to go to sleep, and then we were running behind. Like my wife had to pump and other stuff like that, and I had to go pick up the person watching our children, bring them back to the house. So we actually got there at a great time though. Like the vibe was already set when we got there. We had found Chris got to sit on the couch right next to the drummer, but right next to the band, and me and Shelby found these seats on the other side. We all got these cocktails, and then we didn't know what we're getting into this night because it wasn't the night we were originally going to go. So, but it was a 4-piece band. You had a guy in the keys, you had a sax player, you had a cello player, and then you had a drummer. And the main guy is Aiden Gould, I believe his name was.
Bass. He was playing bass.
Yeah, so I asked them, they all go to UNT, they're in the music program, but they're all do a band together. But when I tell you we walk in there and the band was taking a break, so I was like, oh great, we didn't miss any like anything crucial. So we get back by the time they do like their like grand finale, like 3 songs or whatever, and they start going fucking crazy in this motherfucker, especially that drummer.
I told my dad today, man.
Yeah.
I told him that the first night we went, like I never experienced anything like that before in my life. And
it really was experience though.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know what possessed me to be like, I want to go hear live jazz, especially because my music taste, typically is going to cater to
hip-hop
predominantly
R&B.
hip-hop R&B. But for some reason, bro, I was like, I just want to go hear some live shit, and I want to hear it like raw, uncut. So as Dalton said, the band that we saw Friday, they're still in college. For those who don't know, UNT is a college out here. So like they're part of the music program. And quite honestly, I would say
their music program is really good though. Like it's an actual legit music program. It's good.
With no disrespect, like I enjoyed, maybe it's because who I was with, because the vibes when I went Saturday was a little bit different. The scene was a little bit different when I went Saturday.
I could tell from your video as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I went. I felt like I had a better experience Friday.
Okay.
Than I did Saturday.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Saturday, again going back. On top of going back, I was celebrating one of my old coworkers' birthdays as well, which her birthday's the day before mine. And
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she told me like Saturday I want to go to dinner and da. So I'm not really stressing like how I'm gonna make everything work. I told her straight up, like, if I'm here, I'm going to your dinner, like regardless of what I had planned. Like I'm gonna show up for you, because she's always showed up for me. And it just so happened to work out that, well, unfortunately, everyone she invited to dinner pretty much canceled on her. So she ended up going with a friend and ended up meeting me out at the jazz club.
Nice.
Crazy enough, we all parked on the same side of the street and we all got out at the same time. Like we were all parking at the same time. Crazy enough,
that's what
everything worked out. We all went in together. We were able to actually get a table. Drinks was cool. I will say this, I took a page out of Dalton's book in life. I didn't allow anybody.
Oh.
I still got the espresso martini. That's all that
Oh,
was on
okay. I
my
thought you were
phone.
about to tell me you got what.
No, the page that I took out of your book, so to
Uh-huh.
speak, was I ain't let nobody touch their wallet. I paid for everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just felt like, especially because at that point I didn't feel like I was celebrating me anymore. I was celebrating my friend and
Yeah.
her birthday and everything she had to endure recently. And I was just like, this is what I like told the group where I like guaranteed it would be a good time. So like I didn't want nobody to have to stress or be like, I ain't really got the bread or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whatever. The fact that everybody came out, I was like, bet, let me make sure everybody's straight.
Spread the love.
Did that 100%. And it ain't something I regretted. Like the next morning when I woke
No.
up and realized I spent $200.
Like
You feel
that's the
me?
thing. That's the thing about sometimes that think gets overlooked with like bars. Like
Mm,
if you are going out, right? Like obviously,
mm,
yes, you don't want to if you are paying a price, right? Like a luxury tax, if you will, because we're doing something you don't have to do, right? You don't have to go to a bar and
right.
buy a toy. If the drink is good and the vibe is right in the place, all that is
Mm,
irrelevant.
right.
Irrelevant.
Because you're gonna do what you
Ryan
came to
said
do.
$200.
Three of us. Hey, shout out to my boy Jameson because he gonna keep it thorough. He don't drink liquor. He don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
He's a God-fearing man. He just asked for a black coffee, bruh. And that's what the fuck he got.
I mean,
So I don't even know.
but that's what they make though is coffee. So like that's not a bad thing. I'll
Exactly.
order there.
I
But
don't know. I don't even know if his coffee, I didn't know if it was on the house or if it made the bill. But three of us ordered two drinks and then I ordered a round of shots.
oh, the
And
shots
then
is what got you there. Yeah.
I got a $5 soup bowl. One person wanted some soup.
You got a soup?
And then
Okay.
yeah, the chicken tortilla soup, which
Okay.
they said it was great. But they add like the gratuity and all that,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
wasn't tripping, bro. I ain't
Yeah, yeah.
even like, a nigga like me, bro. So player, bro. I looked at the check, was like, cool. Pass it to somebody else. Sign that for me, add the tip, whatever you want to do. You feel me? Like just straight. You feel me? Because I was good. Like I knew what I came to do.
Okay.
But overall, I tweeted Friday night, and I mean this. I stand by this. For anybody who hasn't gotten into jazz, maybe hasn't found the artist that speaks to them directly,
Mm.
jazz in particular, how sporadic it is, how they, I told Ryan, like I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, bro, you can start on beat.
Yeah.
You can try to keep a count, but it's gonna go everywhere after
Yeah,
that.
it's complete expression. That's what jazz originally was. It's just literally like
Exactly.
and a lot of
But
it was like back at the Gap, it was like inner turmoil just like out in musical notes.
frustration.
Cuz a lot of
Yeah.
like okay, and like I was explaining this to my wife when we were there cuz I was like breaking down like each like band member to her. I was like you could tell like they like I was like the sax player doesn't even look back because he doesn't have to. They're so connected by everything. He's not looking
Yeah.
back. He is because the sax was leading the song
Mhm.
off, and that was telling them where they were in their
Mhm.
moment. And
Mhm.
then I was like, then Aiden playing the big bass, right? Like
Mhm.
I was like, if you look at his mouth, he's counting notes while
Mhm.
and he's like scatting to himself because they're like he's not reading music. Like he wasn't the
Yeah.
only person reading music was the piano player. That was the only one
Yeah.
reading music. Now the drummer, I was like the drummer is the heart of this whole thing, bro.
Yeah. The
For
beat.
this
Yeah. For sure.
particular band in general,
Yeah.
because now the sax player was cold. Like I'm not gonna take anything away from the
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
and he had like energy. That boy was like turn the fuck up, like he was like yelling and
Mhm.
shit, which is you
Mhm.
want that in like an intimate setting because you feel like you in the motherfucker with him. But the drummer,
Mhm.
was 100. I guarantee you, like I would say 90% of that is unscripted drumming. He is just going with the vibe of the night. This man, first off, his drum set is all custom, right? So every drum is a different brand. I was looking at it. It's all a different brand. Like his kick drum is different from his snare, his tom. All of it was different. The way he did, like, I would call it like lunchroom freestyle drumming, because he was like hitting the side of the thing. He was using every part of the drum to make noise, which is like a lot of people don't do that. And then he did something I've literally never seen before. Never. I've never seen it before. He grabbed his tom. Yeah, it was his tom drum. He grabbed his tom drum. He was beating on the top of it. He flipped it over on the bottom where the fastener is at, where they fasten the drum to your set, and he starts scraping it, going like scraping it, and then drumming on the bottom of it while also scraping it. And he did it shit so seamlessly
and on beat.
Never lost, like I'm saying, never lost a step.
When he flipped it back over,
yeah,
he landed on beat.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He did it all so seamlessly. It was crazy.
Again, unscripted.
And most of the time, he wasn't even like looking. He was just like doing it like old school. I was like, yo, this. And then when he took a break, because for the last song they switched some of their band members around. He sat next to me, and I said, yo, my man, you are the fucking truth. I hope you know this. And he said, oh man, I appreciate it. I said, you did some shit I'd never seen before. And yeah, that shit was crazy. And then, but I'm glad you liked it, bro. It would be cool to make like a regular stop there, because it's a good vibe. Yeah.
But
jazz, man.
Before we transition, I tweeted Friday night that, you know, jazz, if you allow it to, jazz will automatically transport you back to your childhood.
Yeah.
Like, it was so, I don't even talk like this, bruh. That's how I know this shit real. That shit was surreal, bruh. Hey. Like, I knew I was in there, and I knew, like, I was sitting next to Ryan, and y'all were sitting across from me, and there were other people in the room. But for moments of them playing, I was like, where they are right now took me back to a specific moment when I was a child.
Yeah.
And just a day when I was a child, like, ran through the day. And I was like, whoa. So, like, I was very excited to tell my pops about that. My pops is a location guy. So the first thing he gonna ask is, where was it at? What was it by? Oh, I know where that area is at, wooty wooty blah, and da da da. But I'm like, as soon as I told him where we was, he was like, oh yeah, that's a small building. Like it was very tight in there. I was like, yeah, it was. Like, it's crazy. You knew that without me telling you, because we couldn't even like initially get parked. But
yeah, it's crazy because it is tight, but it's like perfect for like what they do.
Yeah.
And then they have a huge patio though. Like, don't even get that. Yeah. Like, their patio is ginormous. But
it's, like, on the entrance and on the front. But overall, bro, like I said, like Dalton said, like, jazz that genre is great, and it's not one specific thing. Like, if you're not hip, like, a lot of people might feel like there's some like old niggas just up there.
Nah, man.
Blowing the horn and shit. Like Dalton said, these people were from UNT, and the crew that was playing last night when I went, probably around the same age as them.
Young,
I know they're
bro.
younger than us. A couple of the players were obviously.
People don't realize how crucial jazz is in general for like any genre, right? Like, especially hip hop. Like, jazz and hip hop is like this, bro. Like, do you know, like, that's the records that these motherfuckers were sampling from the beginning. Jazz has too much gold in it. Like,
sauce.
Miles Davis, John Coltrane, like, those people were kind of like, they believed in the movement of hip hop and stuff like that as well. Like, they kind of helped push that forward because of like
Quincy
all expression.
Jones, man.
But yeah, check out jazz. There's no wrong place to start, really. Like, I mean, obviously some stuff is more of acquired taste than others. Like, obviously. Like, there's a
straight up
reason.
scat.
There's a reason why people tell you to listen to Miles Davis kind of blue, because it's not his like super crazy stuff. Like it's an easy, it's only like 4 tracks, but they're long, but it's still four.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I would just jump into it, the jazz tab on your whatever your preferred listening service is, and see what they got, man. Like I really, or just go to one of those like recommend playlists and see what they got on there. You'll find something, I guarantee it. Cause
Without a doubt.
jazz musicians are incredibly talented. Like they're so talented, like it's ridiculous. Because the shit sounds chaotic, but like when you were in the moment, like Chris was, it feels a whole lot different. Because that it's supposed to be, it's meant to be experienced like that, and then they are experienced like that when they record it. Because a lot of times they live record together. They don't just do it separate. So like they're in that vibe the whole time. That's why jazz is so incredible to me. But
while we're on the top, go ahead.
I was like, but yeah, speaking of music, man, like I said, we just finished the Grammys. Like fresh out, we hopped on here, right? And I don't know who was on here a minute ago. We had four viewers for a minute, so I don't know who was there. But thank you for they left.
Talk about jazz.
But thank you for stopping by, at least.
It's cool.
But yeah, so the Grammys just happened. I will say, I was keeping up with on the live feed. I wasn't watching it. Chris was watching it, but
watching it. Family.
From what I've seen, really, kind of what the Grammys needed, because the Grammys have kind of been a stick in the mud the past couple of years, especially for hip hop R&B performances. They did something new that I liked, where they had all those best new artist people perform. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Donci's performance was crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
But I think first and foremost, before we get into the nitty gritty, shout out to Super Miles, bro, our brother in arms, bro.
Drop the bomb, bro.
Yeah,
drop the air horns.
He has been Grammy nominated several times, and now he could finally take the moniker off, and he is now a Grammy-winning producer. His name is Super Miles. He produced on Donci's album,
the intro and the outro,
outro, and he is now a Grammy-winning producer.
Let me tell y'all something, bro. For real. When I first met Chaz French at Bowie High School, and he was aware that I did music and made beats, and I was aware that he rapped, and you know, he had this thing going with Dalton, because I didn't know Dalton at that time, because they went to different high schools, and Chaz came to where I was at.
Yeah.
When I finally stopped looking at Chaz as a threat and was like, I literally said, if you can't beat him, join him. I hit him in the hallway. Like everybody was leaving at the same time, because it was like Thanksgiving break or Christmas break. So like everybody was let out at the same time. I called him in the hallway and I was like, bro, we need to link, like, for real. So we were talking, wooty whoop. And he told me about Miles and was like, yo, this nigga Miles make beats. He just started, but like he ain't quite where you are yet. So like maybe y'all should link up and you show him what you know and you take what he know. Like y'all intertwine, because y'all gonna be the producers for this self-conscious music thing that Dalton started with Chaz and Jawan and Joe Cree. Right? So I'll never forget it. Me and Miles linked somehow. I don't know how we got each other's information, but Miles was like coming to the crib this day. And Sterling, his older brother, was driving their mom whip. Miles was like, yo, I'm finna pull up. I'm outside already. 9 times out of 10, except if you're Dalton, I'm gonna be outside waiting for you. Like, you ain't gotta tell me you outside. Like, I'm already outside, except if you're Dalton. So I'm outside waiting. Miles throw up the Jet Life sign hanging out the window, literally hanging out the passenger window. Jet Life. I was like, oh yeah, this nigga different. I'm already like peeping. So Sterling dropped him off. He didn't stay. We're literally in my kitchen with my laptop and my shitty computer speakers back in the day, the little, you feel me? You got the little knob button on there. We in the kitchen. And I'm just showing him everything that I had took the time to figure out about FL at that time.
Right.
Right. So based off what I showed Miles and what he gathered from, other resources, he started getting better. better. The one credit I give Miles over anything, because I don't think he's a better producer than me. I'll never say that. I'll never say that.
It's impossible for you to do
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
I'll never say that. But the one thing that he does have above me that I can say is his dedication.
Man.
And I'll say that because, when Dalton and his pops opened his house up to all of us to come and sleep there, live there, party there, do all our shit, I used to hit Miles to be like, hey, we all here. You feel me? Shout out to Dylan, because Dylan had a desktop in his bedroom, because Dalton was already on the Mac. FL wasn't on Mac at that time. He allowed me to get FL on his desktop in his room and allowed me to make beats in his room. So like, even if Miles ever did pull up, which he didn't, we had a spot to make beats by the end of the night. But every time I would hit Miles and be like, hey, we doing our shit over here.
Yeah.
He was like, nah, bro, I'm staying in the crib and I'm gonna make beats.
That is like, yeah, that was his mode, right? Like his spot was comfortable. That's where he was at. And he literally did the 5 beats a day for 3 summers thing, man. He literally would not stop it. Like, in the way Miles names his beats is it's SM and whatever number beat it is. That's simple. Yeah. So literally, I'm talking about, you go over there, it'll be SM 1082.
Yeah.
You go the next time, 1112. Like, it would
blown away, bro. Like every time I went to his house,
yeah,
with his setup, we getting a Papa. He got some fucking deal on Papa John's pizza. He like salvaged the internet for us to get like a free pizza.
He got coupon codes, man.
And he had tobacco, and he had joint papers when I couldn't afford cigarettes. So we would roll up our own cigarette after the session, or during the session, to catch a break, go out there, deliberate. You know what I'm saying? Like, Miles is defiant. Like, he won't accept that. Like, I remember I told him, because My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was our world. Me and Miles.
Yes.
It was our world.
Yeah.
Like, we were trying to like
recapture that.
Figure out how we could do that level from the bedroom. And he was the first, like, with no real proof of concept, he would be like, bro, what these niggas doing, we can do.
Yeah.
He told me, because I was trying to figure out how to do a certain pattern with drums. But the way the drums were, how it started on the one, it was hard to manipulate that with FL.
Right.
So it was like, I couldn't figure it out, and I was pissed off. And Miles was like, bro, we can do this shit, bro. Like, we can do it. Taught me about how to sample with FL. Like, he taught me more than I taught him, even though I'm better. So for him to have worked with Currency and Wale and Lloyd Banks, and have records with Pusha T, have unreleased records with Kanye West, and all these artists, bro, and him to finally, like, and be not, like Dalton said, for him to be nominated and then actually win.
Yeah.
I ain't never, my mom was in the living room, bro, when she won, and just saw me going crazy. She didn't say nothing. I said, Mom, you remember that birthday that year? That nigga bought you that Bel Air. He bought her some Bel Air blue for her birthday that year.
The
I was
blue.
like, you remember him? And she was like, yeah. I said, Ma, he just won a fucking Grammy, bruh.
Yeah.
Like
It's,
making beats. What I do every night that I keep y'all up and I'm in my room doing this shit. Like he just did that, bruh. This is a huge thing, bruh. Not even, I mean, of course, because I know him, but like, dog, like our history, bro, where we started, where we came from, bruh. Like what you decided to do with your time, your money, your effort, and giving me, Chaz, Brandon, Miles, Jaywan, Creed, Justin, like everything you started and what like we were able to do with that, however far any of us went with it, like and kept going, bro. It's just like I ain't never been, especially a lot of niggas will kind of maybe depending on what type of nigga you is, like feel envious, like damn, like that should have been me because I was there and I seen it and I was like I was the really, I'm really the one, like I'm really the, like bruh, unselfishly text that nigga like you made it, bruh. Like this is fucking crazy. And
yeah.
what this means for him and his family, his mom, his dad, his
Yeah.
brother, his grandma, like I'm gonna tell niggas I know a nigga
Yeah.
who has a Grammy. Like
Yeah.
I got that bitch. Like I
Yeah. I
ain't never
mean,
felt that before. I felt it with like when you had Raiden, like when you had your
oh,
first kid. Like
yeah.
it's equivalent to that. Like something you so proud of that ain't got shit to do with you, bruh. Like wow, bruh. I remember when Dawn ain't have a beard and now this nigga got a kid, bro. It's that type of level of like, fuck, like all the crazy shit that's going on in the world. It's that pinch that makes you like, reality is here.
Yeah.
This has
Yeah.
been happening while you're living your day-to-day life. There's shit still going on outside of you that is huge. That if you just take the moment to appreciate and accept and like realize,
Yeah.
it's great, bro. Like, hey, bro,
Yeah.
it started with Miles and it just kept going. But yeah, you go
Yeah.
ahead, bro. Go
But
ahead.
we had to get Miles out the way. I mean, shout out to you, brother. I hope, you know, I know it won't be the last one. Bigger and better. I mean,
Hell yeah.
you got your own Apple playlist now, made by
Shout
Apple. So let's
yeah.
keep it going, baby. But also, shout out to Dochi. You did it, girl.
Yeah.
You
Hit
you
the
got
air
best
horn,
rap
bro.
album. Thank you
Hit the
for
air horn,
thank you for
man.
working. Thank you for working with my boy, bro. And thank you for making that album. I really enjoyed it. Me and my wife listen to it all the time. And your Tiny Desk was off the fucking chain. So
Her
you keep
performance on the Grammys was
yeah
great too.
yeah. So she's not going nowhere. So let's keep it going, baby. But yeah, I
Wait,
mean,
wait, wait,
yeah,
wait, wait, wait. Third female in history to
to win
win
rap album, yeah.
in that category. Lauryn
Lauryn
Hill,
Hill, Cardi B,
Cardi
her.
B, Doechii. She's
Yeah.
here. I'm sorry to the non-believers,
We
bro.
have also more history we'll get to in a minute. But so we did a if you're new here live or you're watching for the first time, we did a Grammy video when they did the nominations a couple months back. And for the most part, pretty accurate, I would say, on my guesses, except for my big surprise of the evening was
Album of the year.
my greatest enemy. Not my greatest enemy, but my the person I don't like her music, but the person I'm surprised walked away with a big goose egg
Yeah.
was Miss Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
She walked away with a fat goose egg, and I am highly surprised because I thought she would win at least one. So you already know my night was on 10 at that point.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, there's 96 categories in the Grammy. I'm not going to go through 96 categories because we all don't know
Right.
all those things.
Right.
but I'll get through the big ones. Okay.
Let's start by saying that most of the presenters tonight made it a point to say that the winner of whatever category was selected by a group of
Yes.
the Grammy committee that's
Uh-huh.
1,300 people. They made it a point
Yes.
tonight to say that,
Yeah.
which is great. But go ahead.
Which also I think a while ago we did explain the Grammy process. I don't think it was in the last one because we were just talking about the reactions, but I believe Miles was on the episode. We were talking about how the Grammys actually works. But yes, but it's a panel. If you have enough music credits, then you can vote on the Grammy panel. And they make you vote for all 96 categories. So that's why you get sometimes random stuff because I'm like, I don't know this spoken word album. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so let's just go. Kendrick had 5 nominations and 5 motherfucking wins. Boy did a clean fucking sweep. And I think this is solidifying his run from this year. This is like and guess what? The GNX album came out so late last year. It'll be on the next year's Grammy, and it'll probably win something there too. So this shit is the methodical planning of this is absolutely ridiculous, and I don't think it's a stretch to say that we said before, regardless of who was on that list, this is the right answer, right? He won Song of the Year, Record of the Year. I don't think you can have any inkling to say that was not the case. And if you heard that room when he won the award, you would know that is the case. Because you know who's at the Grammy Awards? Your peers. Music producers.
They said A minor, bro.
He had everybody in that place screaming that shit, including people that work with his opponent. So
they played Not Like Us on the part. You hear, like, if you pay, they say Drake on the televised version of the Grammys. Televised. They allowed his name to be said. They didn't bleep it out. Nope. Say Drake. I hear you like him. Yeah, like that. You hear that. I would like, you said your predictions were pretty accurate. Mine was completely wrong.
Yes.
I had hope obviously Kendrick would win.
You said,
you
did say he would win what record or song? He'd win one of those, but not both.
Right.
And then I was like, he should win both because it's
right.
Like he has those things, but I didn't think they would give it to him either. But you know what? The proof is in the pudding.
So let me, because that was big, and let's get to the next big one. Because I don't
know if you saw Diamond said Kendrick forever.
I did see that.
Okay.
I want, like, my conversation is deeper than the win. So I want to acknowledge, for me, the two biggest things, Kendrick being one, Beyonce winning Album of the Year.
That was the next part, yeah.
I can't. It's baffling to me that she won.
Oh yeah, but hold on. So Beyonce won, the first Black woman ever to win the country album award.
Yeah.
So first Black woman ever.
Hit an air horn for that.
Yeah.
It's Black History Month.
And she won Album of the Year with this album as well.
Yes.
So I don't know, man. Like I remember your stance on it. You were saying like this is like a here bro damn award because
I said here nigga damn.
I can't say that, bro.
I know. I was just letting you know.
Especially
that's what I'm letting the audience
in this month of February.
Yeah. And I'm wearing a shirt, American. You the
But
American or you American?
regardless, I mean, but like we said, there is a voting committee on this, and they voted for this album. I did, but we're not gonna act like this album is not good. We're not gonna act like it's not good.
I would never fix my mouth to say
who did you think was really gonna win that award though? Taylor, did you listen to anything on the list other than that one?
Outside of singles, I can't say that I had. So that's me. But this is the first year to me, because I never paid attention to like politics in the music or whatever. Like I would watch the Grammys, see who won, and be like, oh, word, or whatever. So like I never was invested the way I was this year in particular because of what happened last year. Because Jay-Z used his acceptance speech to be like, my wife has done unmeasurable things and
True.
she has never won an album of the year, but she's done all these things.
Yes.
And I'm on that side of history. So like I don't want to make it seem like I'm against her winning, but at the same time, you know, I was telling everybody that was here tonight, my family, I was like, basically what I said on the pod, like this was a here nigga damn, because Renaissance is a far better, far more impactful, where we actually see how the music affected the culture and the movement behind the album. Whereas Cowboy Carter, you know, people would want to say it's experimental, which I understand, but
I mean, I saw a lot more cowboy shit this year. I'll tell you that much.
I will give you that, but I also think a lot of things played into that as well. Not for nothing, Shabuzi, what he did. I'm not saying he's
who
bigger
was
than
on
Beyonce.
Beyonce's album? Shabuzi.
He was. Even the LV, some of the LV pieces Pharrell did, you know, was cowboy Western influence.
It was a very big cowboy year for that.
I just think that you know, if you really asking me, I feel like they saw my fit from Raiden's first birthday. Cause Dalton, if you really want to think about it, like if you really just sit back,
I'm not.
Niggas set the tone. Set the tone. Niggas wasn't wearing Wrangler and
my man had
Canadian
a bolo tie on too.
Bolo top, handkerchief. Like they wasn't doing that when I popped out. They weren't. Niggas wasn't.
But look what
there was no Shabuzi before Raiden's first birthday.
Okay, but listen. Now with Beyonce, I don't know, man. Like, cause Beyonce's reach is so crazy, bro. Like, I don't know. Like she did fucking numbers on the football game, right? Like, and then it was like such a big thing that she was snubbed at the Country Music Awards, right?
Yeah. CMAs.
This is like proving everybody right that like she should have been at least nominated, right? Like you're not even in the conversation.
Yeah,
because so I mean she won. I mean let's just, she's the first black woman to win a country album. That first off, like that someone's got to be the first. It's crazy that it took this long though. Like so,
and country is a black genre.
Yes, I mean bluegrass and all that shit originated in very, very black places.
Yeah.
So like you don't have any of that stuff without it. So like, and I think that's the point of that album in general. Was like, I mean, and she's from here, bro. She's from Texas, bro.
Yeah. The politics make it look like that an argument could be made that this it's important. Like I know it's
look,
to us it's not.
I know I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying for right now, would it be in Beyonce's first album of the year? I was like, cool, we got it out the way, and it is the country album, and I think that is important because is Renaissance better to me than Cowboy Carter? Yes, but not a lot of some people think Cowboy Carter is like peak Beyonce though. I don't know if you've seen that. Katie literally told me from her mouth that is her favorite Beyonce album, bar none.
which is
So like, this album spoke to so many people, and it expanded. Like, to me, it also shows that there is not a genre she can't do. Like, really, if she wants to dip her toe into anything, like, I think Beyonce can just make it happen.
there's one genre I just feel like she ain't.
What? What? Because she's making that hip hop album next for sure.
Nah, bro. I told you what it was, bro, from the jump.
What?
The streets, bruh. The streets now. I'm talking Young Jeezy streets. Snow on the Bluff.
Okay. Anyway,
We need that R&B
yeah, but look,
wholeheartedly.
yeah, I just look.
All discussions, all conversations, all comparisons stop when we get the R&B.
But
She can make a rap album.
Here's the thing.
We need that R&B one. I'm just,
Beyonce doesn't work at the speed of her fans. We know this.
of course.
She works at the speed of Beyonce.
Wherever she at.
But I think that it's powerful that she did win this particular album, like I said, because she finally got her album of the year, and then she won Country Music Award. So now she has she's in the record books, right? And then she finally got that elusive one that she was missing out on, right? And because every time we could talk about politics for any of these, Taylor Swift has an insurmountable amount of Grammys for shit she should not have won, but that's neither here nor there, right? Like that's just what happens. But I think this year, pretty much everybody that won their awards was pretty correct. I don't think there's anything that I was like not pissed about. Like even Chris Brown winning that R&B album, I was like, okay.
Hey, talk about it.
So
talk about it.
Because I'm not a big Chris Brown fan, but Chris Brown fans, when this album dropped, I heard them talking about like, this is that shit we needed from him. He finally came back to like the R&B roots, and it won. And I'm not mad about that because I actively saw those conversations happening. It's not like it was like, bro, what is this? And then Anderson .Paak and Knowledge with their No Worries album. Technically that's an independent album that won a fucking Grammy because that was a Stone's Throw Records, bro. Like that's incredible in its own. Rhapsody winning her first Grammy with Erykah Badu. Like there is so much stuff that like in any normal Grammy would not happen, right? Like So I was like, oh, they're actually like, I think they took more time with the voting process probably. Like they were just checking boxes. They were actually like, okay, let's check this shit out for real.
Which I feel like is due to the amount of music that came out that wasn't groundbreaking the same way the artists that were actually nominated what they did. Like even the Charlie XCX girl, like her album was for the gays.
Yeah.
Like so it made noise. Like Sweetener or not Sweetener, I'm
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter shit.
She had a huge year, and then the Grammys reflected that. She won the award she should have won, right? So
Billie Eilish, that Birds of a Feather song was everywhere. They're playing that at retail stores.
Yeah.
Like it was everywhere.
And then Billie Eilish is like we talked about, like she is like
she's stamped.
She's stamped, and she's like when she puts something out, like it ain't no bullshit ever. Something. She's like, but
Lady Gaga,
Bruno Mars.
That, but the commercial, the record, restoring the feeling.
Yeah.
Of what this shit's supposed like, what it like, where our generation feels like.
Yeah.
This was the peak of this music.
I feel like we got a jump of adrenaline going right now with music. So like I feel like because people are kind of like, which is stepping out of their comfort zones, and they're also bringing back the vibes, right? They're not I think we're done with the people. Well, it's never gonna stop happening, but I think with these the area of art we're in, like people are stopping doing the like I'm just looking
The
for a hit
fast
record.
food.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah,
like
yeah.
literally making like if you play somebody like a random song from Doja's album, and nothing's gonna sound like a hit
Right,
record to you,
right.
but sequentially when you listen to it as an album, you're like, oh, this makes sense, right? And that's what's important. They're making like they're thinking about the whole thing, not just like a here's this shit real quick.
Kendrick Lamar saved the music industry, bro.
And it's crazy. This I don't. Where would you think this run would rank on hip hop runs? Because we have a lot to pick from, but this is
It's
like,
I'm That's an excellent question.
yes, which needs to happen.
Non-recent non-recency bias
Yeah.
is number one. And I'm going to tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
For the exact reasons you just said. I think if Kendrick didn't come,
Whoa,
pause
whoa, whoa, whoa,
with
whoa, whoa.
yeah. That was crazy. Yeah. If Kendrick didn't do what he did sonically, even during the beef,
Yes.
how he did you could say underground wave with Euphoria, as far as Cardo Got Wayne's producing that, then sliding over to the boom bap, Al Green soul sample, then sliding over to the underground hip hop with Alchemist, then sliding over to the mainstream bop hitmaker Mustard, and doing all that in this time where, again, when the beat first started, everybody was chasing a Drake type beat
Yeah.
for music. Drake covered so much of the game
Mm-hmm.
because he was able to do Afro beats and R&B
He was
and
the
rap
face.
and the coffee house beats, and he'll give you the rap record. Like
Because
the
passion
fact that
fruit.
he was yeah, which just like got a Spotify, like it broke like streaming records, like Passion Fruit specifically here recently.
I like that
But
record.
I did not like that record at all.
I like it.
But everybody was chasing that Drake thing because all we saw was Drake. Drake's breaking this record. Drake's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's working. Like everything kind of had to fit around Drake ultimately being a staple in a playlist, in the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I think that Kendrick doing what he did freed up everybody from chasing a type thing. And I ain't gonna say everybody, because like, you feel me, but like, majority was like, oh, I ain't gotta do this for it to work. Like, I don't have to do a microwavable hit. I can actually do something with some integrity and artistry and put a whole campaign behind this, and it actually worked, like Abel just did with his latest album. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, all that shit. This is an ad, it's not paid. But
It's not paid.
I do, like I said this, like the game needed Drake to go away. I said it early because we were all going to try to make something that fit a Drake's playlist, because that's the only thing moving in music. And if we open this shit back up and you have a Dolce existing with a Lotto, existing with a Nicki, existing with a Cardi, existing with a Meg, you feel me? Existing with a Drake, a Future, Travis, all these things, because now we're solely just, is this good? Not if this feels familiar. Is this good?
Mm.
I think it's great. So I have to rank this beef outside of the Grammys, outside of the Amazon Prime, Ken and Friends, outside of the Super Bowl. I have to, because of what it did for everybody.
Yes.
If your music is good, we're now going to talk about it again. It's not going to be a passing, fleeting moment.
Yeah.
So that's my take.
I'm going to agree with you, Chris. because most of the time the runs are like they're big, right? The runs are big, and you're like, oh man, that was a crazy run that year, right? Like Wayne mixtape run was unmatched, right? Like we never see anything like it. But really, what happened there was people try to get in the mixtape game, but I mean it wasn't like the same type of thing, right? Because Wayne was like the pinnacle at the time, right? But this specific one, like you said, actually shifted music, right? It also did the Batman versus Superman. He made a god bleed, right? Because, like I said, Drake was the face, right? Like Drake was, there was no question who the biggest artist on the planet was, right? You can name you could name Taylor Swift, Drake, Bad Bunny, right? You can name three people, and then if BTS when BTS comes back, it'll be them too. But like, they're the people that are running shit, right? And it's just no question. You just know. But Kendrick just went on like, for more than just the records themselves, his timing was incredible. Everything that he put out was just so impactful. And then when he did Not Like Us, it was just like, bro, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then to drop an album, and then that album being fucking good as fuck, to peak it off, and then you get to the new year, right? And you win 5 Grammys off of a diss record, bro. That is something special. And yes, it was a diss record, and it's calling a man a pedophile, right? But like Chris said, this has shifted things a significant amount. It really has. And even crossed over genre borders. There was a man I've never seen before get on that stage tonight after he won a Grammy and said, if there's one thing I can tell you kids is to not start a rap beef with Kendrick Lamar. I don't know what he won, but he wasn't in the rap category in any capacity. And what he learned from this year was to not start a rap beef with Kendrick Lamar, right?
Because you're going to end up on the wrong side of history.
And I can't stress this enough. He had a whole room of their peers scream A minor. The whole place was screaming that. There was a video of Beyonce before he walked up dancing to the record. So you know Beyonce was fucking with it.
Saying A minor, like,
I think it's undeniable what happened here. And I am very, very curious to see what happens going forward. Because not only for Drake, but with his lawsuits and everything, but with his music, to see what do you do now, right? Like, because like we're already privy to your character, right? Your character is now out in the open, and you can say what you will, you know, your rebuttals and all these things about this and the third, but his character is on full display. Okay. And now we like, what does your music talk about now that you have been more or less exposed, right? And with literally, you are now turned into like a whole different face, right? Like, you are now, you're the butt of the joke. So can you use that as fuel to rebound, right? Because
he can 100%.
Yeah, which I believe, like I said, I believe he can, but what is the kind of shit he's gonna do, right? Like, it can't just stem from a lawsuit. You know, it can't be like, oh, I sued him. Like, no, bro.
If you are a true music lover and you are a true Drake fan and you know his influences, you know where he started and how far he took it with how he started, you know since Views, he has been phoning it in.
Yes.
There's no doubt. I'm not saying he still won't give you a generational verse. I'm not
Right.
saying he lost a step, but every artist,
He didn't leave the pocket.
no, I won't say every artist, but most artists like 50, Game's approach to 50 when they started beefing was, since Get Rich or Die Trying, you got rich and stopped trying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm G Unit to death to this day.
But you felt that.
I was like, damn, like, yeah, that was real. Like, I felt that. Drake started off mixtape run on Dilla Beats. Kanye was his idol. Hove was his idol. Wayne was his idol. There was a point to prove. But once you make it and you don't have a point to prove anymore, and you know you got them, you can do whatever you want with them.
Mm-hmm.
And because of what you built off your prior work, you can put the fix in. Because I'm Drake, you're going to accept this.
Yeah.
And that is what his biggest downfall was. Kendrick regurgitated what Pusha said over the course of 4 songs. What it took Pusha to do with 1.
More disrespectful, but yes.
Minus the PDF file shit.
But it was more
over the
disrespectful.
Pusha T did in 1 song what Kendrick decided to do in 4. So it wasn't any new information. Nothing we didn't know.
It was the way it happened.
Yeah, it was the way that he executed. Right. So, I mean, Drake came from being Wheelchair Jimmy, the guy that used to shake his hand on stage and everybody.
Freestyle with a Blackberry in his hand. Yeah.
Drake has been made fun of since the beginning of his career.
Mm-hmm.
But what he always did up until a certain point was make great bodies of work. And he just stopped doing that because he was winning so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the timing, like you said, of how everything played out, of course it was in Kendrick's favor, but you know, it might have took that happening for the casual fans of Drake to be like, damn, he really not like that. Especially because of the recent music that we've gotten from him. It's, you know, I knew for all the dogs was, I knew this was shit was a joke when he had a Benny X beat. And fucking, what's that white boy name everybody like that fuck with Benny X? What's the white boy name, Don? Yeet. Boy. When he had a Yeet feature, I was like, I can't, on an artistic level, I can't compare like Kanye putting Chief Keef on. I mean, even though, you know, Kanye remixed.
Yeah, but that also that's same city though.
Yeah, but like, like you can't use the excuse of Drake was first on Yeet or whatever, because Yeet was already Yeet before. So much so that, again, the song that they're on, the producer that Yeet fucks with did the record.
Yeah.
And if anything I've learned while fucking with Miles at this point, as far as production, niggas is making these beats, they getting writers. If it's your homeboy, I get Shelby over here right now. Like, Shelby, this the beat. How do you feel? We finna write a song. How she wrote the song. We finna send it to Drake with Raiden singing the vocals. And Drake is finna take that song. That's where Drake's at right now. Like, ultimately, again, this is what's needed for the game. We need the grip that Drake had on the game to be loosened up in order for everything else to matter. And you if you're a true fan of music, you appreciate Drake, but you also know, like I said, he ain't been the same for a while.
As you like to say all the time, two things can be true.
Yeah.
Two things can be true.
You can walk and chew gum, my brother.
But I mean, this just kind of stamped it. I mean, five for five, bro. I mean, enough said. And then shout out to Beyonce for show.
Before we get off this, does Drake winning? I mean, does Kendrick winning the 5 and the audience in the room of all your peers championing that? Nobody with the stale face like, we don't want to get on Drake's bad side, so let me not make because the camera might be on me. Did you seeing that like reassure you in the conversation that we're having now that like we can make music again? Like, did Kendrick's win do anything for you for the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, I feel like if every fucking peer in existence, at the place at least, which is like everybody of note, right? Jay-Z was there, bro. Like, so if they're all saying this shit, right? Like
Stevie Wonder said A minor while he was there, guaranteed.
Then we're at the point where they're not afraid to speak up or like go along with the shit. Like, we're not like being fucking soft about it, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's still expression, right? Like, so
yeah,
regardless of the content, like that is what it is. But I thought it was just crazy to see that. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I got reaction videos. I'm gonna send you after
this is a diss record, bro.
Yeah.
So like,
which is also genius on Kendrick's part, PG Lane, to make it more of a moment for the West Coast in their resurgency than just dying on the hill that I diss Drake.
Yeah,
like this is culture.
Yeah,
like
this is culture.
And him making them this. Yeah, go ahead.
He said, I mean, and then him shouting out all those cities, right? Like, really, really solidified, what was going on. Because he saw names like, this is where I grew up, man. Like, y'all been rocking with me since I was, first writing my raps and stuff. This is like the culmination of all that, because basically he was like, Drake was like anti-culture, and that was the main thing he was fighting, really. That was the main point. It was just the cherry on top that all those other things were in existence.
Like, you're not a real nigga.
That's all he was saying, though. But he's been saying that for years, right?
Yeah.
And then he was just waiting. He had his gun loaded the whole time. He was just waiting for something to shoot first.
He like you said, subtle here. I think the biggest one that we missed, and I'm glad we kind of got to this point, and then after this we can talk about anything else. I had a theory that I shared with Diamond that I didn't see anybody else talk about.
Okay.
My theory was the deal and the timing of the deal that Kendrick signed with Universal as a distribution. For them, the deal was short term, and then if if Kendrick and his team receive the results that they were looking for, then we finna sign big checks, big paperwork, right? But the deal was for the short term was to see if Universal could distribute Kendrick's music in a way that was more impactful than what Kendrick previously was afforded. Universal being like the biggest player. Let's see what we got, right? So I think that Kendrick and his team knew that Universal could distribute his music, obviously, because Drake and Taylor Swift's is everywhere. They knew that. But to sweeten the deal
Yeah.
for Kendrick, let me go ahead and ignite this
Okay.
to further push our agenda. Okay? And the reason why I don't think nobody thinks Kendrick would do anything, because if you look at that from like a artist standpoint or real nigga culturally, you could find holes in that logic to be like, so you diss Kendrick or you diss Drake to fatten your bag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think that Kendrick just was like, I don't like him anyways.
Yes.
So this is the ultimate opportunity.
It's a win-win.
It was a
It's a
win-win.
win-win.
So to even go deeper into the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
Drake initially might have had a point with the Universal pushing this, right?
Yeah.
That's in the contract that Kendrick signed. Like, I'm only signed with y'all short term to see how far you push my music.
Right.
Let me take it a step further and diss y'all's biggest artist. You have to push my music.
Yeah.
That is the deal I signed. It just so happens that I'm dissing y'all's biggest artist too. So take it or leave it. And the shit took a lot. There was a ketchup Heinz.
Yeah,
Heinz.
Yeah.
There was a Heinz mustard commercial during the Grammys with his song on it. That would not have happened. Come on, bro.
And
Come on.
And to cap it all off, he about to perform next week at the Super Bowl.
2 black quarterbacks. They say you got a black and a possible.
Yeah.
To be, But yeah, nah. Kendrick, I think that move, like you said, the way he went about it was just so prolific. Like,
Yeah.
if we ever start getting the details, like if like these record executives or
Yeah.
somebody just get old and senile and just start spilling the beans,
Spilling the beans.
when they decide
Yeah.
to speak on this part of history, they will say this is exactly what happened. Kendrick's deal was short term to see how much Universal could promote his music to get a bag and take out a nigga he don't like. That's like you said, it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Nobody's done, I promise. Joe Budden, Joe Rogan, Joe Biden, the Tiger King. Nobody has hit that point.
The Tiger King.
Nobody, bro. Shams, Woj, nobody has hit that point. And I think that is the point.
Okay.
If I'm trying to get a bag from your parent label, distributor rather, I'm going to diss the biggest nigga who's getting the bag, work with the second biggest artist. If Taylor, I don't know how you would do that. Work with the second biggest artist producer on every single song I drop on GNX and all on my disses to let you know I am a team player. I fuck with Taylor. I don't fuck with this one.
I'm telling levels, bro. There's too many levels that it's probably even more stuff that we're not even thinking about. I'm sure. Yeah.
I think I just cracked the code for real.
That's a good one. Besides that. But what I'm saying is, like, I wonder if, like, a couple years from now, like, Kendrick gonna explain this whole, like, the whole game plan, right? I wonder if he's ever gonna do that. But
speaking of Woj,
yeah, speaking of bombs and emotions and hurt feelings, let me tell you how I fucking woke up this morning, Chris.
I'm ready.
So
I'm ready
woke
to
up
receive.
at 4 a.m. with a stomach ache. I was like, I need to go use the bathroom to see if this is
Right.
gonna help. So
Like a
I'm on the
real,
toilet and I'm doom scrolling, right? I'm looking at Twitter.
which really fucks up your posture while you're
Yes.
shitting if you're not sitting
So
up straight. So
I
sit up
scroll
straight.
through some tweets and I see one that's like a conspiracy theory, and they're like, oh, the reason Luka's at the Lakers is because this. I was like, Luka is a Laker?
Mm.
And I had to make sure it wasn't that NBA Centel.
Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fake one.
Yeah.
So sure enough, I scroll down a couple more and I see the Shams fucking report. Luka Doncic is going to the fucking Lakers. And I almost threw my phone and woke my wife and son up. Because I never in a million years did I think they would trade Luka mid-season. Like, off season is a different story, but mid-season, bro, it was a 3-team trade, right? But
Lakers, Dallas, and the Nuggets, right?
I don't know. The other one was for like the picks or whatever. But
yeah,
we got Anthony Davis and Max something, and then they got Luka and
first round 2029.
I am so, but what? And when I tell you, like, Twitter was in shambles the whole day.
Oh yeah,
it was. The only reason it stopped recently was because the Grammys. And Kendrick and Beyonce were winning. But
Beyonce dropped her tour announcement, and niggas was like, "Not right now,
not right now, baby, please."
Yeah.
There were people going to the Dirk statue at American Airlines Center. These people dropped a casket off. There was people dropping off all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
Because it is. And then when you find out how this shit happened, it makes it 10 times fucking worse, right? Because AD, Luka, LeBron, nobody knew this was happening. They were just going through their day, and they found out just like the rest of us. Jason Kidd found out right before Nico made the call, bro. And I am just like, and I see, like, when you look at the details, I can see why some of it makes sense. But the way this happened is fucking crazy. Because I'm like, bro, this man has given, like, I was like, bro, he's played his whole professional career here. Y'all couldn't give him a decency of, like, a dinner to be like, this is what's about to happen. I think it's going to be better for you and the team, and blah, blah, blah. But no, then this man went to his press conference, answered 3 questions, and then, like, all right, Jason Kidd got it from here, and left the press conference. Nico, the GM did. And his main point was defense wins championships, so AD kind of gets us over that hump defensively that we need, right? And the bigger thing that the one thing that has been on Luka's there's 3 things that have been Luka's bad marks on his game, right? Is he whines a lot, he complains an egregious amount, his defense is lackluster, and he's constantly hurt or overweight. So his conditioning is fucking terrible. He's already missed 22 games this season. He's 270 pounds. He is the 4th heaviest player in the league.
Yeah.
And there are people bigger and taller than him, and he's still heavier than them. Because those people are lean, and he's just fat. The only person I've seen that's out of shape like that, Ball, is
James
Joker.
Harden. Oh.
Who you say?
James Harden.
Well, I still think that was like I'm fat, get me out of here, because he was skinny like 2 weeks later. I don't know what happened there, but it's in like a basketball sense, you can make a case it makes sense, and I also know it's financial because basically with the midseason trade, he can no longer get a supermax deal. So the Maverick, because so first off, Mark Cuban is not on the Mavericks anymore. So like, let's get
Right.
that out of the way. It's
He's not a majority owner anymore.
yeah,
He's a
he sold it to
minority.
some people in Vegas. So some people think this is a play to get them in Vegas and all this other shit. Some people think it's the league basically being like, hey, our numbers are down. Let's make a splash to get people talking. Because the weird thing about it is, I was like, the Lakers is the most random team. Because I was like, if you're going to trade Luka, right? Like, if you're in your mind, like, I'm trading this motherfucker, any team you call is gonna answer your phone call.
Yeah.
Not a single team is gonna be like, we don't want Luka. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like and I'm like, bro, you could have called all around this motherfucker. Like, I would have called Milwaukee immediately. Be like, hey, I'm gonna trade Luka. Will you trade Giannis Antetokounmpo? No? Okay, let's move on. Like, that would be my first call, bro. Luka got traded before Jimmy Butler, bro. And Jimmy Butler's been trying to get traded. And Luka got traded. That's crazy. But
I heard Golden State was trying to get Jimmy, and Jimmy was like, nah. So he's trying to go to Milwaukee.
He's trying to go to Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix.
He wants to go to
He's
Phoenix.
trying to go to Phoenix. Yeah.
Miami doesn't want Bradley Beal's contract, which, once again, financials is a big one, right? So
yeah.
But it's just crazy how this happened. And like, people are like, I mean, I see people on the rational side, like, oh, this is actually better for their basketball and like such and such. But like, just the way they handled it is just feels fucking weird, bro. And I like, Luka is gonna drop 900 points when they play the Mavericks, bro. He's gonna lose like 20 pounds fucking with LeBron.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna drop fucking a dumb amount of points on the Mavericks.
If LeBron
and then
takes
they basically
Luka,
gave all their starters off tonight, so they got fucking smoked by the Cavs. But
if LeBron takes Luka to his physicians, whatever, the doctors, you can cancel Christmas, bro.
Yeah.
But
here's the jug. Here's the jug. Guess what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen. The Lakers and the Mavericks, neither one are gonna win a ring from this shit. So, but because the only way to make a trade make sense is with the result, right? So the Mavericks are just off of finals berth, right? Luka took them to the finals, bro. Now, did he fucking ball out the whole finals? No. But also, we matched up with the worst team for the Mavericks, which was Boston. Literally our worst matchup imaginable. And they will always be our worst matchup until we change the way our team is structured. But which I see the vision, but I don't. But I'm saying, if you trade for an injured person for another injured person, like, I don't, because AD's always hurt too.
Not another injured person for another injured person. Another injury prone person.
Yes.
For another injury.
They both miss a lot of games. But I guess they want presence in the paint is really what the main, because Anthony Davis will give you a bunch of blocks and also score 25 points a game, right?
And he wants to play the 4, which he doesn't have to play center anymore.
Yeah, because they got Gafford. So
don't say that other name.
No, Gafford's the starter, bro. I'm not saying anybody else's name, but
okay, cool.
But he's hurt anyway, so
yeah, he is. Man, I hope
but
he's hurt.
I just did not think this was gonna happen. Like, this is so surprising.
Let me tell you from a non-basketball perspective, because I'm not big into sports. I can talk all day with music. I can't talk sports. But from the outside looking in, I knew once Kyrie went to the Mavs, some way, shape, or form, Luka was cooked. Why? Because you got a nigga who do what Luka does better. Okay? Then you have a veteran in what Luka is not. From the history of the game, from what I've seen, there's always the guy for the team, right? Michael was the guy for Chicago. Kobe was the guy for the Lakers. Magic was the guy for the Lakers. I was finna go to another team, but I couldn't think of any.
Dirk was the guy for the Mavericks.
Dirk was the guy for the Mavs. Yes, I ain't taking nothing away from Dirk. But when the news broke, I was on the way home from the jazz bar last night. So like, I'm in the car, like, yo, like everybody. I'm still like everybody. All I did today was sit on Twitter. I watched Stephen A. Goddamn, I watched all of them today. Like, yo, make sense of this, cause like,
you muted yourself, bro.
I was like, make sense of this, cause this is weird. Like, I watched all the sports shit, right? But I never. It wasn't weird for me for some reason. It wasn't weird from a basketball sense. It was only weird from an ethics sense. Like, Luka didn't know, nobody reached out. Like, that's crazy. Because this is a foreign kid, came into the league, dedicated his life, well, his time.
He was already a pro when he came to the league, though.
Yeah, where he came from. Yeah. But getting the car, getting integrated with Dallas, embracing Dallas the way that he did. Like, you would think that he would be another for-lifer, right?
But or then at least give it decency for a fucking sit down.
Right. But then from the other side, like business perspective wise, all the things that you named, his three biggest strikes against him: no defense. You didn't say this, but ultimately this is what it boils down to. He's not a leader. And it's because he's still young. Because of the temper tantrums, and maybe he's not wanting to stay in shape, and whatever else comes with it, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, Kyrie here, you got a vet, you got a nigga who's willing to sacrifice, you got a nigga that's willing to participate Ramadan and still play and still give you buckets. Like the discipline, the mindset.
He's a pure hooper.
Sources close. Oh yeah, drop him in the game. Any team, any night. If they traded Kyrie to Detroit today, and they had a game tonight, which means Kyrie's playing, he's going to produce. He's a pure basketball player. Ambidextrous. Went to a Catholic school. Coach made him. He was a left-handed player.
Yep.
Coach made him play with his right.
Yep.
Dangerous with both hands. That's a nigga you don't want to see.
He literally is like an anime character, right? Like, so he'd be like, because he'd be playing and they'd be like, oh, we're getting him. He's like, that wasn't even my main hand. Switches to the left, and then it's like, oh my God, he's 10 times faster.
Dominate.
Yeah.
So all those things made me realize, and I don't know nothing about the new GM, Nico. I mean, the information I found out about him today, he was with Nike for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So he was there when Kobe was there, LeBron.
He was very highly valued when he got here. He's made a lot of great moves, but this one was a head scratcher for sure. I mean,
and I saw a report today that was like when he went to tell people that this was the move that he was making, that people laughed, like they laughed at him. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. But he was dead ass. So let me say this.
Hit the button.
I appreciate him standing on business. And if he has a vision for the team, I do want to see it through. I hate how they did Luka on an intimate level. But as far as like, again, his vision and what he thinks they can achieve now and moving forward, I want to see, like, from just a spectator. Like, I'm not too invested, but I do know Luka's young, and I think he got thrusted in a position because he was the best player on his team that automatically made him the leader. I made a reference today. I was like, this is like the same thing as Jason being the leader of the Power Rangers until Tommy showed up. And then all of a sudden, Tommy's now the leader of the Power Rangers. Like, Jason gracefully did that because that's what they
Gracefully.
they already shot they shot the episodes and all that shit. So they just redoing what they, you feel me? Like, Power Rangers lore. But yeah, I think Luka's young and he wants to have fun because he's young and he's in America and like he can DoorDash beer. Like he's not disciplined because he's young. And that's okay. But he's not a leader. And it's not his fault. He's the best player. He's better than 90% of the league.
He's a top 10
when
player.
It comes to scoring.
He's a top 10
when
player.
It comes to scoring.
Yeah.
But everything else is too much.
So the thing is, like I said, the only way, like, this man could seem like a madman, crazy. The only thing that'll make it feel better is the results, right? Because he obviously had a vision. And yeah, he said, I'm a GM, I got to make the hard decisions. And he made a really hard one. And the only way, I feel like he put his career on the line for this trade. Because, like, you don't just do a trade like this, like, without like a, like, because he did this shit, like, quick, boy. So
you don't do this trade without knowing that your job is on the line. If it doesn't
like,
work.
If you have a very finite amount of time left and you have to show results, or else he dug his own grave with this. So I am curious to see what happens, but I do know when Luka comes back to Dallas, it's gonna be a rough night.
It's gonna set.
But I am curious to see, and I know at work tomorrow they're all gonna be in shambles.
It's gonna set us back 100 years when Luka and LeBron
Ridge
come
texted
through
me.
that.
He said, you don't see fucking Jerry Jones trade Dak. I was like, bro, nobody would have cared if Dak got traded to Dallas, bro.
Not right now, yeah, for sure.
I was like, Luka is the guy, bro.
I went to Walmart yesterday and they were selling like the Cowboys merch, like their caps for $5. And I was at the little jewelry kiosk because I need to get some new nose rings. And dude, of course, he was Hispanic. He was like, bro, they selling these hats for $5. This is a steal. I was like, oh, word? Yeah, haha. And he was like, yeah, I'm finna cop me some of these. I was like, yeah, bro, do that. He's like, obviously for next year because the season over. Like, nobody give a fuck about the Cowboys right now, bro.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. And if the Mexicans don't care in Texas for the Cowboys,
we're cooked.
My boy, don't give a fuck. They want to see a change. But yeah, honestly, it was a shock because, like, you obviously you felt like bringing Dirk back to like be a mentor to Luka was like part of his whole position coming back was like him helping guide Luka as a foreign exchange student, if you will.
It was a crazy day.
It was crazy, bro. But I don't think that, and I mean, look, you talk about gambling in Las Vegas and like the owners of the new majority owners of the team are from Vegas and their whole thing is this casino and bringing this shit in to town and all that. Nigga made a gamble and niggas do that every night. Brothers with their life, their wife, or this
is gonna be interesting to see what happens.
I'm curious. It was definitely.
You mute yourself again.
It was definitely a shock though for a non-sports caring nigga. Like, I like who I like in the league, and I root for who I like at that particular moment in time. But like, I knew this shit meant something when my pops was like, "Yo, what?" Because I know he don't give a fuck. Like,
that's what I'm saying. When I told Shelby, she was like, "They traded Luka." Like, she don't watch basketball, bro, but she knows who that is.
Right.
That's because he's synonymous with the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. 25 though, bro. So much more game left in him.
He'll be fine. He's gonna be just fine. He's gonna ball out wherever he goes. But
I had to Google AD because everybody was calling him an old fuck, right? Like, oh, why'd you trade for an old nigga?
He's
The
31.
nigga was born in 1993, bro. This nigga's 31 years old. He was born March something 1990. I text you. You didn't text
Yeah.
me back. I said AD 31, like,
Yeah.
because the nigga been playing ball for so long. When he was with the Pelicans, like he was a big deal.
That he was our guy.
I thought he was well off into that shit. He is still a child compared to me. I got gray hairs and shit, bro. Like, you feel me? Like, this nigga,
The reason they're saying that is because that's old for like his position. Because you get beat up a lot, especially with the amount of injuries he's had. But
he don't want to play center,
yeah, I know.
which is another reason I
wants to
think the
score.
Lakers. He literally just did an interview and was like, "I don't want to play center. I want to play the 4." And they got rid of him. So like, I think this was a favorable trade. Yes, it was a shock, especially Saturday night, 11:30. You got the UFC happening, wrestling happening, boxing happening.
He thought it was gonna get washed out.
I don't think he thought that, but I was just like, there's so much other shit going on.
Yeah.
This is the last thing anybody expected.
No one expected this shit, bruh.
Like, it's
Well, thank you, Luka, for your years of service with the Mavericks. You made it to the finals, bruh. I know you got waxed, but we made it. The point is we went. No one thought we were gonna go that year, and we did.
Yeah.
And he pretty much smoked everybody in the West on the way there.
A. Wiggins put that boy on a poster that year, and then they put like Martin Luther King. I still got the shit in my phone. They put Martin Luther King.
You talking about the Western Conference Finals with the Warriors? Yeah.
They put Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X in the background smiling while he was getting dunked on by Andrew Wiggins, a nigga that played for Canada, if I'm not mistaken. So like,
yep, he's Canadian. But
I
appreciate you, man. I wish you all the best. Have fun out there in LA. I would just say, I hope this gives you a wake up call for your conditioning. Get in shape for real.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get money wherever you go, bro. You're too cold, so you gonna be just fine.
Hey, like, I'm the Luka of like our friend group for real, because like niggas naturally just talented, but like lazy as fuck too. So like, you know what? I stand with Luka because I just put that together for real. Like,
and Stay Brothers Podcast episode 284.
You the Kevin Love.
Stop calling me Kevin Love. Why am I Kevin Love?
Miles KD. I'm Luka.
Why am I Kevin Love?
Well, just because you look like him. You don't play the game like him. You play the game more on a JJ Redick level.
Okay.
But just because you look like him, that's what you're getting.
Yeah, because
right
I have
now
a beard.
from me.
Yeah, great. Fantastic.
And like facial, I think y'all have the same sense of humor. I also think that he would marry a black woman. I don't know if he's married right now, but I feel like he would do that as well. So, you Kevin Love, bro.
I don't even know if he's married, but
I don't know either.
But all right, man. Well, that was a jam-packed, week.
Yeah.
The Grammys was awesome, but yeah, crazy way to start the day today. But yeah, so we back to our regular thing. And like I said, we're gonna be streaming at Twitch every Thursday for the live recording. Oh, thanks, Ryan. Ryan said he made it all the way through. Let's add that to the. Yeah, you made it all the way through. Thank you, brother. But we'll do this every Thursday. Record our episodes here before I edit it for YouTube and get the audio. So this will be the first place you get it with no intro, nothing. Just cut out. Just ready to go.
Straight niggas.
So yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, the ones that stayed. I know we're just getting started with this, so obviously thank you for the 4 people watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see y'all next week. And y'all keep the hope alive out there. We love you.
Keep God in your life, fuck nigga.
Great ending.